4 money lessons from the Stoics I wish I knew earlier in my life. Number 1, knowing what enough is. The Stoics understood that real wealth comes from understanding what enough is. Because wealth is not achieved by having a lot, but by knowing when you have enough. There's a story about Joseph Heller, the author of Catch-22, being at a billionaire's extravagant party, asserting that he possesses something more valuable than the billionaire, the understanding of what enough truly means. In fact, Stoicism teaches us that if you know what enough is, well, you can live a good life with very little indeed. To put it another way, Stoics define poverty not just in terms of not having enough to live on, but also in terms of wanting more than you have. Poverty is then defined as a feeling of lack, and if you always want more, if you don't feel like you have enough, then by that definition, you are in poverty. And so the man who is always in pursuit of more money, more wealth, more prosperity, more fame, more anything, that man is steeped in poverty. Conversely, the man who understands what for him is enough, that man is able to stop. And by stopping, he steps out of poverty and into wealth. Number 2, don't chase money. Stoicism is not anti-money. In fact, they would view money as a tool that needs to be mastered and handled with temperance and wisdom. If you have talents, then you should use them and be paid for them. Saving and investing are good examples of temperance, one of Stoics' 4 key principles. So Stoicism doesn't look down on money or think it is a bad thing, but they do caution about becoming obsessed with attaining it. First, because that leads to a poverty mindset, which goes against their teaching of temperance. And second, because being obsessed with anything leads to a lack of balance, which is another of their key tenets. Money is a useful tool, but not something that can by itself bring about balance in your mind. Number 3, money is never free. Now, money, as we will see later, can buy you freedom. Freedom to do what you want with your time. But when money is offered to you, there are nearly always strings attached. Strings that often result in a loss of freedom. The famed photographer Bill Cunningham has some timeless advice. If you don't take the money, they can't tell you what to do. For example, you could be offered more money in the form of a job promotion, or by winning a new client, or the money might even be given to you as a gift. Now, more money, more freedom, as we said, but the promotion will come with more responsibility and more work, which equals less freedom. The new client will come with a whole new set of demands and requirements, less freedom. For the gift, well, it could be with the implicit expectation you repay the favor later down the line. Again, less freedom. So you have to balance the freedom coming from the extra money against the loss of freedom it entails. Often the price you pay for more money takes the form of longer work hours, less time spent with loved ones, missed social events, and less time developing other, perhaps more rewarding pursuits. And so the Stoic would say you should think hard before taking the money. And today's studies do show that beyond a certain level, more money doesn't buy more happiness. So if you are presented with the opportunity to earn some extra money, ask yourself the question, will this provide a net increase to my freedom, or will it reduce my freedom? If there's no impact, then yes, you should probably take it. If the money will overall increase your freedom, then again, you should take it. But if the impact will be net negative, then say no. Number 4, what is the value of money? The final lesson from the Stoics asks, what is the value of money if it doesn't buy us freedom? And what is freedom? To the Stoic, freedom is defined as the ability to control one's own time. The free man hasn't sold all of his time for money. He has understood the trade-off and has balanced it appropriately to his needs. But also, his time is not spent in the pursuit of unnecessary excess. He is not compelled by ambition or greed to spend his time in ignoble pursuits. After all, no one is having less fun than the addict or the obsessed. And because the free man has not taken the money and is not chasing ignoble ambitions, his time is his own. And that man, having the true wealth of time, spends it, according to Marcus Aurelius, the most famous of the Stoics, He spends it being generous to others. So if money doesn't give you the true wealth of time, then it is not worth the trade. And so the Stoic would warn against the hustle, the pursuit of money, or the accumulation of wealth for its own sake. Because as we discussed earlier, there are many ways that money can in fact buy you the opposite of freedom. It can bind you. It can tie you down to commitments and obligations. And so the Stoic would say, when money stops buying you freedom, stop chasing it. Because it is at that very point, at that finally balanced point between money and freedom, it is there that you have enough.